So hello. Welcome back to my channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe and also support my small business at latricelimited.com. So apparently there is a school in Missouri that has had radioactive waste in the elementary school, okay? Or nearby it, okay? I got a whole article here. It says Missouri school to close after radioactive waste report. A Missouri school board decided Tuesday to shut down a grade school that sits near a contaminated creek after a study funded by law firms involved in a class action lawsuit found high levels of radioactive material inside the school. Okay, this is not the first time I have heard about this. I actually have heard, I remember when I was in school, I've had teachers, they were saying like, yeah, it would surprise you the amount of schools that are near like nuclear waste dumps, whether it's on top or whether it's just nearby. Okay, and I mean, obviously, just the harm that you could get from this kind of stuff is ridiculous. Contamination was in classrooms, the playgrounds, and elsewhere at Jana Elementary School in Florissant, Missouri, according to a report last week by Boston Chemical Data Corp. Follows another study by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers made public in the summer that found contamination stemming from World War II era nuclear weapons production in a wooded area near Coldwater Creek. Yo, I mean, this is the kind of stuff I talk about, yo. It's like, y'all knew that this kind of stuff was here before you built these schools, okay? This isn't something that's like, oh man, we just didn't know, and y'all knew this stuff was here, and then was like, okay, well, I guess it's the truth gonna come out later, and then it's like, oh, well. So essentially what they're doing right now is like go to school virtually and stuff like that. Here's one of the things that kind of get me with that though. Granted, virtual learning, we did it during the pandemic, but here's the thing. You have a lot of parents who can't afford to be staying at home with their kid, because then you say, well, you can't have 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds, 8 or 9-year-olds staying at home by themselves. So, and it's like, yeah, you can't have them staying home by themselves, but at the end of the day, I can't take off work so my kid could be here. I wonder if there's some kind of alternative thing that they can do. And I mean, like, just anyone can do, you know what I mean? To kind of make it so that maybe we rent out like one of these field houses or something like that. Maybe we could rent out a field house and have students go here, as opposed, and then, have teachers or whatever and have them go here as opposed to having them at home, because I mean, people can't be losing their jobs because schools districts are saying, oh, well, now they got to stay home, COVID, they got to stay home, but you can't work from home anymore. I know you were enjoying that work from home, but you got to go back to the office and your kids are not going to have to be at home. So now you're going to have to be at home, so I really don't like that because it just really limits people, severely. I mean, it really definitely limits people. I was just reading a thing earlier today and it was talking about like, kind of off topic, but it was talking about like single mothers and whatnot. And then, if your kid gets sick and stuff like that, and people were saying like, yo, if you had a work from home job, that is something right there that can completely help with all of that. Now you don't have to work around like, oh, well, I can only get a job during, X hour and X hour because my kid needs me to be there and this and that, or I can't be working mornings because I gotta take the kid there to work. I can't work mornings because then I gotta take the kid to school, but I can't work this afternoon because then I gotta pick them up, or I gotta do this, and it's like, if you just let people work from home, you could prevent literally all of this. Okay, no one's gonna get mad that, oh, I gotta take a 5-minute piss break or something like that, but you go in to drop your kid off at school. No one's gonna be saying like, ooh, you shouldn't be doing that. No one's gonna be saying all that. So that's one of the things that I feel like if you're doing this is also something that should be happening with other corporations as well to kind of aid in, this kind of stuff. But getting back onto it, they actually were saying, like, how I mentioned Coldwater Creek, they were saying that a new report worried parents, especially since the Federal Agency for Toxic Substances and Disease Registry stated in 2019 that people exposed to Coldwater Creek from the 1960s to the 90s have an increased risk of bone cancer, lung cancer, and leukemia. So that is something else that they were wondering about as well. They were like, okay, they're exposed to this. Are they going to be one of those people that's on the news? Hey, if you happen to be living near the Jana Elementary School, yeah, you may be in for a settlement. They're wondering, like, okay, is this going to be something about this? Because what's going on? You know what I mean? So, there's health risk with radioactive material. That's a fact. But I just found that to be very interesting in what they're doing. And they're saying, we're going to, pretty much y'all gonna be virtual until we clean up the joint. How long is that going to take for them to clean it up? I don't know. Now, are you going to be affecting people's livelihoods? Because now they can't, what if they had a second grader? They can't stay at home by themselves. Now they got to spend more money over here, all for something that is your fault.